Okay, I am back. Oh, I am here to shake thesis. Okay, this is fine. I am here to shake tables. Now, I want to talk about a certain group of smartphone users. A certain group of smartphone users that for some whatever reason think they are better than everyone else because of the device that they use. Now you already know where I'm headed with this. Absolutely, you do. Of course, you do. Yes, and this one is me shaking table. I'm going to be shaking table this in this video. Now, personally, let me start. Personally speaking, I like the iPhone. I do. I actually do, and I believe that Steve Jobs, without Steve Jobs and the iPhone, probably this whole ecosystem that we have now, maybe it wouldn't have happened, because I remember watching a documentary that was talking about like the state of how smartphones were in the late 2000s, and very clearly the CEOs of BlackBerry and Motorola and Nokia, all of them thought that the iPhone would crash and burn. Actually, it didn't. And Android was born out of a necessity to compete with iPhone and the iOS, and hence we have what we have today. And there are people who buy iPhones for legitimate reasons. Now, let's talk about the videography, for example. I mean, this is my phone. It's doing very well, but if somebody were to say, gift me an iPhone, or if I had the funds to buy a really high-end one, why wouldn't I? Of course I would. I mean, this is good, but definitely, an iPhone will be better, because it's, despite the fact that, Androids are touching 8K video now, I think they are still behind the iPhone. It's not my opinion. You can check anyone else. You could check Android Authority. You could check XDA. You could check anyone. That's the accepted fact. And I have seen samples comparing the Xiaomi 12S Ultra to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And in terms of videography, even though Androids have overtaken the iPhone in terms of photography, but videography, still the iPhone. And I have friends that we get together and then we record this stuff, and like I help them record, and the iPhone is good. It's top notch, really, and I would like one too. You could also talk about like how tightly woven the iPhone's ecosystems are, and how they got all these services, software and hardware and everything that ties in together. And yes, it's a closed system, but most people who are in the system, who actually want the system, very much enjoy it, and very well they should. You want to talk about like device performance, the SoC coupled with the low-powered NVMe controllers that are still blowing Androids away. Oh, come on! Like there are lots of reasons to want to get an iPhone. Let's not even talk about the iOS security, right? And there are also its pitfalls, but I do not want to get into that. Like, I'm completely leaving the scope of this video. Now, a lot of this stuff that an iPhone can do, besides the videography, obviously, Androids are catching up and even doing better, because the Xiaomi 12S Ultra took the iPhone 13 Pro Max to the cleaners for photography, both night and day, and some other shots were arguably like hit or miss, down to subjective views. But in terms of like your performance, photography and stuff, like the Androids are coming up, especially when you are using a really high-end Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, Xiaomi 12S Ultra, the OnePlus 10 type of phones. You absolutely do. You know that the Androids are like, they're getting there. But there are a group of people that have consistently on air, social media, Twitter, everywhere, they talk about how Androids are bad, and that whoever is not using an iPhone is, especially the Twitter crowd, those guys, they are the most culpable for this one. Now, when you get to the floor, because most of the time this stuff they get to me sometimes, not because like they make me angry that they trigger me, it's because I see lots of misinformation floating around and nobody's correcting it, and everybody just like, yes, iPhones all the way. And like, wait, hold on. First off, Android is not a device. Android phone is not a device. It is a whole ass community, a whole ass group of lots and lots of devices, from the really shitty low-end devices running Unisoc to the high-end ones running Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus, Dimensity 9000 Plus. So the question I'm asking now, ladies and gentlemen, which Android device or Android-based device are you comparing the iPhone 13 Pro Max to? And funnily enough, the answers are like, they will pick a shitty, low-end Helio P22, Helio P35, Snapdragon 439 device, and then hold it up that Androids are bad. Are you kidding me? Are you for real now? And it shows on the part of the people that make this dumb argument that for the most part they actually do not know what they are talking about. How can you be picking up a low-end entry-level device or a budget device or a lower mid-range device, and then you will have it go up against a flagship that other flagships are like they are going head to head and neck to neck, and they are not actually beating successfully. You're picking up a low-end device to go up against it, and then you feel smug in the fact that you feel smart, you feel entitled to say yes, iPhones are better. I don't want to swear on air, but the logic behind it's mind-boggling to say the very least. Unfortunately, a lot of these people who go about prattling this rubbish, and quite unfortunately again, there are a massive numbers of them who use probably a Samsung Galaxy A12, for example, or Infinix Hot 8, for example, Hot 8, Redmi 9, for example, or even a Redmi 9C, for example. And then they make the switch to an iPhone 11, an iPhone 12, and then Androids are shitty. No more hanging, no more lagging. I cannot install any. It shows the amount of ignorance that person has. Like, one of my friends will always say it. He goes by the moniker Genius. He knows himself. That the money you spent on buying that iPhone, have you spent it on a similar Android device of the same class, and it didn't give you that same performance? And then there are only two phones, iPhone and Samsung. All the rest are nonsense. And then you see people say something like, live your truth, oh, that one is your truth. Me, I'm living in my own reality and my truth. Like, most of the time when they say these things, it's mostly when you've caught them. When you've actually really, really got them, you've got them in a stranglehold, and then the old trope come outside. They start to shift the goalpost away to talk about your truth and my truth. There is no your truth and there's no my truth. There is the objective truth. Everybody can do what makes them happy. Everybody's entitled to that. It's the pursuit of happiness. You can do whatever makes you very happy, very pleased, and nobody has the right to tell you otherwise. But to come out and try to influence public opinion, and then form a mob, and then make it seem as if like you guys are right, and then you go after the amount of toxicity is just something else. To go after people using a certain device that, for whatever reasons, maybe they do not have the budget, maybe they cannot afford it, maybe they don't want it, maybe they choose not to have it, and then try to, I don't really know the word to use, to bring them down, to try and hurt them emotionally, logically, whatever. Try to bring their social standing down because, I don't know, you're using an iPhone. Come on, it's a communications device. It is not written on your forehead. I know, yes, lots of people are willing to take pictures when the logo is showing, but come on, really, come on, guys. It's just a communications device, like any other communications device. The funny part is you will never see users of super high-end Android devices calling trash. It's very rare to calling trash on people who use iPhone 5 or iPhone 6 or the iPhone 7s. It's nearly impossible to find people who use a Xiaomi 11 Ultra, Xiaomi 12s Ultra, Samsung Galaxy S21 or S22, OnePlus 9, 10. Like, coming out today to say, well, all the iPhone 5 and iPhone 6, in fact, it is the iPhone users that troll themselves. They're the ones that talk about the people who use the homeless iPhones, and they're the ones who use X and below are using glorified Androids. Like, come on, guys, really doesn't make sense. Like, the entire argument should be just throw it away. Honestly, anybody that makes the argument, immediately, if you see somebody that makes the argument, the first question you should ask them is that, which Android phone are you comparing this device to? And then you would see the level of IQ that person has to compare. Most of the time it's low. Most of the time it's like they will use their limited experiences to try and like make an argument for a larger case and then present it to the public, and then the people who do not know any better will just swallow it up, and then the cycle continues. So I'm wrapping this up now. Seriously, iPhones, Android devices, very good, depending on the class you want to buy, depending on what you want to use it for. There is no way that you are getting a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra or a Xiaomi 12 Ultra and it's not going to give you similar performance to what you get using your much favored iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's no way. So if anybody comes out and makes that argument for you, tell them which particular Android device are you comparing this one to? Then hear what they have to say. Because lots of things have got to change, like seriously. And if you are one of those people who this trolling gets to, this whatever it is that they do, if it gets to you, seriously, you shouldn't even bother about it. You shouldn't even care. You should not, because people who come out to do this stuff show that they have fragile self-worth, they have fragile egos, and they only come out to try and shit on others just to make themselves feel better about how miserable they are. Because there's no reason why I would go out to go and throw someone else. Absolutely not. My name is Jeffrey, and this has been Inquisitive Universe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.